Hello friends of the electrified charging fun and welcome to Electrified Speicher, your channel all around Škoda's e-mobility. My name is Matthias and today I would like to talk about the new MySkoda app. There's a new major release out there, version 8.0, which is the release after 7.8. So there's a lot of things to expect, you might think, and I will go through everything I found which has changed and maybe talk about some things which didn't make it from the beta version into the live version. Please also note that the functionality of this app may vary due to your software in the car, so software version 3 or 4 or 5, and the equipment of your car. And now, let's go. One short note before we start about the communication of the app with your car. Maybe you have a new Elroq or Enyaq, or maybe you are just curious how this works. Well, the app never communicates directly with your car. So even if you are sitting in the car or standing right beside it, the app will always communicate with the service of Volkswagen or Škoda, so the backend, and from there to your car when your car is online. So you send a request in the app, it goes to the backend and from there to your car. And the other way around. The car sends the data to the backend and from the backend to the app. And due to this communication, there might be some delays. Your car isn't online or the backends have some problems. And these are issues we all know. And to know this is helpful when I explain what they've changed with version 8.0 to understand some of their changes and why they are helpful. One change was made to the status and the data up here in the upper left corner. Now you have a new timestamp there. In my example it says data was updated from the car 3 minutes ago. So you exactly know who updated the data when. This refers to how the communication is done. And when you tap on it, you'll get the explanation of the statuses. So far, so known. New, you can, the automate activation of the car, you can set it right here. You were able to do that in the settings before, now it's directly here on the screen. What is that? Well, when you open up the app wakes up the car automatically. It can do this 3 times a day. This is the limitation to save battery life of the 12-volt battery package. But if you have problems with the 12-volt battery expressed through battery protection limit exceeded, you can deactivate this function and this could help. Also, you now have the status in motion. In some Enyaqs, not in every Enyaq. I already experienced this when it was in service, so a little bit of convenience is here in the new updated version of the app. The next change also applies to the status messages up in the upper left corner. Now you will see that the battery protection limit is exceeded up there with a red dot and the text message, and not on every tile in your app. Maybe you remember it previous when you simply lose all the data, which is really inconvenient. Now you see the last known data in your app and just have the message up there. It's a pity that they choose the same color, red for the dot, like for no connection, yet they put the text on the right side directly to the dot, so you know what is meant, so I think this is okay. Another added feature is that you now get an explanation if you get the pop-up message battery limit exceeded. Yes, finally the app will explain you what this message means, because before, when you tapped on that message, simply the dashboard showed up from the app. That ended up in me receiving dozens of emails a week asking me what is this message and what should I do. So thank you Škoda for adding the explanation, which makes my life much easier. Now I will only get the mails, what is this? Why don't they change this? Where's the problem? And yes, we all know changing the 12-volt battery is not the solution, the final one. So let's see what they will do here. It's still a big issue. I know I talked about that in several other videos, not here, but adding an explanation to an error message or to a message in the app is a really good thing and I like it. The next thing I can't show you because I do not have a company car, so it's not a fleet car, but now you get a notice in the in your MySkoda app when it is a fleet car, when it is in a fleet management system. So it is stated in the app like seen here on the screenshot, and when you tap on it you get additional information. Write please in the comments if you've got a company car which is in the fleet, if you see this message and what really happens when you tap on it, if this is beneficial for you, are there more functions? I'm really curious how this feature works in reality. The next thing is the redesign of the web shop pages and the items you can buy. If you head over to your profile, you have those paid services here, and if you select one of those paid services, you have a newly designed page here. And when you tap on Add to the basket and you want to buy it, you directly jump into the web shop and can proceed to the checkout. This is not something you really need in everyday life, because when do you purchase something there? But I like it when they streamline the whole design of the app and make it more and more the same, so that the app really shines and stands out. Therefore, this is a nice little thing which you might never see in your daily use. Route planning in the MySkoda app got improved. If you plan a route in the route planner, you now have a new design here. And the main changes are when it comes to charging. You now have a much better overview of the charging stations. You can see the SOC when you start to charge until you have to charge the SOC, and you can see the time it should take to charge there. This is much better than before. And also another change here is that you now have way easier to edit the start SOC. You do not have to do this because the car will send that SOC to the app and the arrival state of charge. You simply head to the start or to the end, hit change, and you can set a new one. Before, the edit button was somewhere in this long scrolling list. Now it's there where it belongs, at the start and at the end. So yes, we've got some improvements here, yet one thing still don't work. If you now transfer this route planning to your Enyaq or Elrock, you may be lucky and get the same charges as in the app. Or, in my example, I'm trying to drive to Mlada Boleslav, you get other charges, because as the message which pops up states, yes, the charges will be changed. It seems that Škoda isn't able to transfer charging stations to the car, so the route is only start to finish and the charges are newly calculated into the route from your car itself. But in the end, that doesn't matter, because you can't change your charging providers in the app nor in the car. And here again, we are at a topic which is a bit off the video, but I want again to talk about it. We need charge planning provider filters in our cars, dear Škoda, dear Volkswagen. As long as this price madness is storming all over Europe, it is highly needed to filter for specific providers to get a cheap charging experience. Adding this to the app won't help, as we cannot transfer this route to the car. So we need it in the car or in the app, or make it happen that it can be transferred from the app to the car. And yes, this is a feature everyone needs, from the first Enyaq delivered back in November 2020 to the latest Enyaq and Elrocks delivered now. So please work on this. It is a feature which is mandatory in 2025. But enough of this, back to the app. The improved charge planner in the app is a good base to start with something like this. One new feature I call is Fire and Forget heating and climate activation in the app. Maybe you remember the previous version of the app. When you hit directly start, then you had to wait. There was stated request send it, and it took a couple of seconds or even up to 2 minutes until it works. So you watched at the app, hopefully that the climatization will start. Now they changed this. When you tap on it, it will state directly it's running. Yet it isn't running, because they do not change how it operates behind the curtain. It's still the same thing. you only get another message. And you can already see in the app that is it working or not, because the stop button is not active until the heating or the climate is running, and you do not see the timer. Because before, when it was activated, it was expressed through the time it will remain to run and the stop button. I tried it several times. Most of the times it worked, and I can show you here. I'm right beside my car and the ENIAC is in standby. When it is in standby, it took about a minute and a half until the AC really starts up, as you can see here in my example. And then it is running, and then you see it also in the app that you can stop it. But I also experienced that it did not start the climatization. Then you get a message, a pop-up message, which tells you it didn't work. We are sorry. This is okay. It's a little improvement that you do not stare at the app, yet the modus operandi behind it isn't changed at all. So yeah, I don't get the point right here. But remember, if your ENIAC is online, this only takes a couple of seconds. It's all about that standby and that delay until the ENIAC woke up and will start. The return of the exterior temperature to the app. Yes, we had that in a previous version of the app. Now it's back, and you can see it when you hit here and went to climate. There you go, it's in there. Here it states 6 degrees exterior temperature 50 minutes ago. And one thing I noticed is, why isn't that on the dashboard on that tile here? It would perfectly make sense instead of making me tap again to see this temperature. And on the other side, in all my testing, I experienced that this temperature is not really updated regularly. So the car has a connection to the back end to the app. It's stated up in the upper corner with connection established, so online. Every data gets updated, yet the temperature is still hours ago. I had it even in the morning the next day that the temperature was from the previous day. Maybe it's a caching issue or something else, but yeah, it's nice. It's a nice feature, but it should be updated way more regular than it is now, and it should be displayed on the dashboard. In my German video, I had to say, for the next function, you might not know it, because in every German market it's not available. It's different in the markets I address with my English videos. I'm talking about the loyalty program. The loyalty program is currently available in the UK, in France, in Spain, in Slovakia, and in Ireland. In every other European country where you can buy Skoda, there is no loyalty program. They are about to change this. We talk about that later. What's the loyalty program if you've never heard about it? Well, you can earn points for rewards, so points as a reward, which you can then use in the web shop to buy stuff from Skoda. And with rewards for what? Well, for downloading the app, for inserting a service partner, for driving in eco mode, a lot of stuff. If you are in the loyalty program, you know what I'm talking about. So plenty of opportunities to collect points to get rewards from the shop. Now, with version 8, there is a new feature called badges. Yes, now you can also earn badges for achievements. Maybe this is all common to you from video games, where this gamification is the same, where you can earn points to buy stuff and where you get badges for achievements. It's a nice way into gamification of the MySkoda app and of driving an electric car. And in the future, the loyalty program should be spread out to all European markets. They will start with the badges, maybe the rewards come later. These are rumors. This is not officially from Skoda. I only heard rumors from some sources, so I'm telling you right now, if you don't have the loyalty program, it might come to your market. And if you have the loyalty program, write me in the comments what you think about the badges. That's it from the app. So not that much for a major release of an app, wouldn't you say? So now it's up to you. Let's discuss, what do you think in general of the MySkoda app and the improvements that they've done since the redesign? And especially about the version 8. Let's talk about this. And if you're in the loyalty program, please comment on this. I would really love to read how you experienced this one. Also, if you like the video, thumbs up and consider to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out any new video. Thanks to all my supporters for supporting me and helping me running this channel full time. I really appreciate your donations, especially via PayPal, because YouTube is taking quite a lot of money if you buy a super thanks or are a channel member on the German channel. So thanks for all of your support, and then I hope we see each other in the next video, and until then, stay full of energy.